Natural business, got one more? Okay. Judiciary Committee, one more for Judiciary Committee, and we'll move on to the non-natural. Yeah. Game tonight? Does anybody remember the last number? 48.
Yeah, this would be 48. Do we need to wait for the secretary?
I'll write it down for her. Okay. Motion by Tennille for emergency legislation. Need a second. Dwight. Question by Ray. Tennille. Dwight. And we're doing emergency legislation resolution. Numbers 48. Motion by Tennille for emergency legislation. Second by Dwight. Question by Ray. All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Online, Stan? Lisa?
School plan, which
Yes.
was implemented at the beginning. It was critical, however, to be prepared.
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Opposed, 14.
Opposed?
0.
Not voting?
2.
Motion carried. Motion to approve. Need a second. Vanessa?
Okay, I'll start on the fourth whereas. Whereas the following U.S. Department of Justice coordinated tribal assistance solicitation grant purpose area will enhance the public area number 2, comprehensive tribal justice systems, strategic planning, PGA, COPS office, OJJ, OBC, CFDA number 16.608 to develop a comprehensive strategic plan for the use by the RST Justice Department programs. Project funding is available for up to $150,000 for a period not to exceed 5 years. Purpose area number 3, Criminal Justice System Program, DGA, CFDA, 16.608 to develop a Rosebud Sioux Tribal Drug Court. Project funding is available for up to $900,000 for a period not to exceed 5 years. Purpose area number 6, Children's Justice Act partnerships for Indian communities, OBC, CFDA 16.583 for the purpose of addressing childhood trauma and victimization issues. Project funding is available for up to $450,000 for a period not to exceed 3 years. Purpose area number 9, Tribal Youth Program, OJJDP, CFDA 16.731. The grant will be used to fund the Sioux Hope Healing Option Prevention and Education Program for youth ages 13 through 17. Project funding is available for up to $500,000 for a period not to exceed 5 years. Therefore, be it resolved, the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council approves and adopts this resolution and authorizes Chichangu Resource Development to submit the application due on March 15th, 2022. And be it further resolved that the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council hereby authorizes the tribal president or the designated official to sign and execute all applications and all documents.
Sarah. Discussion. Questions? Call for the question. Ray, all in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Online, Lisa?
Yeah.
Stan? Bill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Steve?
Yeah.
Opposed?
Lisa?
She voted, right? She said yes? Yeah. Opposed?
0.
Not voting?
0. 16. 16, 0, 0.
Motion carried. Is that it for judiciary?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, ladder natural, we have. Okay.
Motion to approve resolution 2022-28.
Okay, motion by Russell to approve 2022-28. Need a second?
I need a copy.
To Neil?
Why didn't they give me?
It's up there.
Right here.
Oh, here.
Here's a question.
Go ahead, Russell.
Okay, whereas Rosebud Sioux Tribe Buffalo Project is a member of the National Inter-Tribal Bison Council, and who does offer grant opportunities in surplus buffalo for herd expansion for its members, where ITBC is offering a herd expansion opportunity with surplus buffalo through their various national partnerships, whereas RST Game Fish and Park Buffalo Project is eligible to receive 9 surplus bulls from ITBC free of charge. 2 5-year-old bulls valued at $7,392, 1 4-year-old bull buffalo valued at $3,696, 3 2-year-old valued at $11,088, and 3 1-year-old valued at $11,088 for the total value of $33,264. Whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Game Fish and Parks Department is requesting authorization to receive the 9 bulls from ITBC. Therefore, it be resolved that the Rosebud Sioux Tribe does grant RST Game Fish and Parks permission to receive the 9 head of surplus buffalo from ITBC. We already received all the buffaloes, and we had a discussion on this here,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
I don't think we ever approved it by resolution though, right? I think probably just accepted them that way. So. Discussion? Fremont? Question? All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Online, Stan? Eileen?
Not voting?
Bill?
Missed it, sorry.
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Opposed?
15, 0,
Not voting?
2.
Carried.
15, 0, 2.
Start with the packet.
Yeah, the packet, we'll go ahead and start with the top one.
Okay, the number is 49, Russell. Motion for emergency legislation. Need a second? Jordan, question by Vanessa. All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Online, Lisa?
Yes. Dan. Oh. Eileen. Yes. Bill.
Yes.
Donna. Yes.
Steve?
17,
Opposed?
0,
Not voting.
0.
Motion to approve. Need a second? Ray? Go ahead.
Whereas the RST Department of Game, Fish and Parks recommends the Resource Committee to approve the 2022 spring turkey season, the number of licenses issued and the fees associated with tribal members, affiliated tribal members, and non-tribal members. And it's got a attached memo, whereas Land and Natural Resource Committee recommends the resolution go on to Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council for approval of the 2022 spring turkey season, number of licenses issued and corresponding fees. Now therefore it be resolved that the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council approves the 2022 spring turkey as presented by the Department of Natural Resources, Game, Fish and Parks. I think, I can't remember one of those meetings, Bill had a question and he was on, and I didn't hear the question, so maybe this is the time to.
Bill, do you have any questions on this resolution, turkey season?
No, well, just had. East Res guys asking if they set those dates yet and stuff for, the turkey hunting, cause they were wanting to line up hunts, and get hunters and stuff, so. Thank you.
Any more questions? Call for the question, Tennille? Question by Tennille. All in favor, approving 49.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Online, Stan?
Eileen. Yes. Bill.
Yes.
Lisa. Yes. Donna. Yes.
Steve?
Steve.
Yes.
17,
Opposed?
0,
Not voting.
0.
Motion to approve.
The next one is, emergency legislation.
Okay, that would be a 50. Motion to legislation from Russell, second by Micah, question by Tennille. All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Online, Stan?
Eileen. Yes. Bill.
Yes.
Donna. Yes. Steve.
Yes.
15,
Opposed?
0,
Not voting?
2.
Motion to approve,
Motion to approve.
second by Ray.
Whereas RST Department of Game, Fish and Parks recommends to the Land and Natural Resource Committee to approve the 2022 prairie dog season, dates of license issued, the fees associated for tribal members, affiliated tribal members, and non-tribal members. See attached memo. Where the Land and Natural Resource Committee recommends the resolution go on to Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council for approval of the 2022 prairie dog season, number of licenses to be issued, and corresponding fees. Now therefore be resolved that the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council approves the 2022 prairie dog season as presented by the Department of Natural Resources, Game, Fish, and Parks.
Any discussion? Micah?
On the attached page, Russell, it says affiliated tribal member, non-member, is that just typo? Should there be like the tribal member one?
Yeah, probably a typo. Should be affiliated tribal member, affiliated tribal member, non-tribal member. Yeah.
And then the annual 3-day and annual's correct too?
I would think so, yes.
Okay.
As amended?
What is it?
On the, season dates, they're changing the affiliate tribal member / non-member. Or not, excuse me, tribal member. Affiliate tribal members / tribal member.
It's kind of just like the last one, Jimmy, on the, how it goes to RST tribal member, affiliated tribal member, and non-members, for the fees. That's how it should be on this second one.
Oh. Okay, any more discussion? Need a question? Jordan, all in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Online, Stan?
Lisa?
Yes.
Eileen?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
15,
Opposed?
0,
Not voting?
2.
Motion carried. Next one is 51, I believe. Motion by Russell, second by Vanessa, question by Jordan. All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Online, Stan?
Oh.
Lisa?
Yes.
Eileen?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Opposed?
16, 0,
Not voting?
0.
Motion to approve? Need a second? Vanessa?
Whereas the County Act requires that the community water system be transferred to the United States, BOR, to be held in trust for Rosebud Sioux Tribe for inclusion within the Maniwiconi project for operation and maintenance. Whereas the community water system in Palm Lee on the Rosebud Reservation has been upgraded to meet the requirements of BOR for inclusion under operations and maintenance. Whereas BOR was kept abreast of the upgrade of Palm Lee water system, including field inspections. Whereas, hey, you made me lose my train of thought there, Sarge. Whereas, as per the checklist of BOR transfer criteria, there are 141 numbers of households and 13 businesses served by Palm Lee water systems. Whereas included are the existing RO documents, the NEPA, NHPA compliance documents, hazardous waste surveys, and as-built systems, drawings, and system operations and maintenance documentation. Whereas OMR roles and responsibilities, work plans, budgets will be negotiated in the next fiscal year. Whereas RST Land and Natural Resource Committee reviewed the documents and recommend to the Tribal Council to approve and submit this resolution to BOR for the transfer of the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Farm League Community Water System to United States BOR to be held in trust for Rosebud Sioux Tribe for inclusion within the Mini-Wichoni project for operation, maintenance, and replacement. Now therefore it be resolved that the Tribal Council approves the committee's recommendation, direct the Tribal President and Director, Mini-Wichoni Rosebud Rural Water System, OM for implementation.
Question.
Need a question? Fremont? All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Online, Stan? Lisa?
Yes.
Eileen?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Steve?
16,
Opposed?
0,
Not voting?
1.
Motion carried.
Got a little bit of information for Tribal Council if you wanna pass this out, Charlie, I think that well bucket is too heavy for you.
It's waiting on you. Everyone's holding me up 10 months, I can't.
Basically, we're calling for a meeting in Rapid City for this, the draft environmental impact statement for the Dakota Access Pipeline. You guys kind of follow that. Remember they put a stop to that and they had to go through environmental impact statement, but now they have it completed, so they want the tribes to come over and be involved in that and see what the outcome of that statement is.
That's on Friday, right?
It's on Friday. So, I don't know who's going, but,
I'm going and Wayne's gonna go, so we're gonna be both be down there.
okay.
I don't know who else was gonna end up being down there, but I think Phil was putting in travel to go down.
Do you, or is, travel, is that the issue or no?
No. Unless the council people wanna go, you know, that's up to them. Wanna go down to it. What's up?
A couple of you could, some of us.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we authorize travel for any council reps that may want to go to this, meeting, because I think it's important. They put me in jail, so that, I want to get back at them somehow.
Follow up from DAPL, the environmental impact statement being
Yeah.
done, okay? Okay, well, he has one. Did you get the, you got extra copy for, Keith, you have extra copy for the secretary?
Here, you can take mine.
Yeah. The motion for travel to Rapid City, second by Pam, question by Dwight. All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Stan? Lisa? Eileen? Bill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes. 16,
Opposed?
0,
Not voting?
1.
Motion carried. Council, I handed out a letter from Shelley Henderson. I guess her name is Henderson now. Used to be Shelley Young, owner of Stadium Sports. And evidently the person that they sold this building to had maybe backed out of the deal. So they're putting it open for bids for Stadium Sports for, and just asking the tribe if they wanted to put in a bid, it would have to be in by March 1st. So I brought that to your attention. I know there's a lot of talk about finding extra buildings for other types of projects that we have, our businesses, possibly maybe even some dispensary for medicinal. They were talking about something like that and other uses for that building, but just brought to your attention. I don't know if you want to, if you're interested in doing it or not. Pam?
Chairman, if you recall, last week, I think it was Thursday meeting, I had already made a motion, recommendation from the Transportation Committee to allow you to have the ARPA office submit a bid in regards to this, so it was done already in council motion
Okay,
Wednesday or Thursday.
follow up on that then.
And then also, I need to make a motion for the health board and any council reps that are interested in attending that compact training in Rapid City on the 17th through the 19th
What's that?
in Rapid City.
So I second that. Motion for Chapel Rock.
City for compact training. Question by Tennille. All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Online, Stan? Lisa?
Yes.
Eileen?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Steve?
17.
Opposed?
0.
Not voting?
0.
Motion carried. Go ahead.
We need to deal with any legislation that needs 15 or more voting for it. And, you know, if we need to change any or push the legislation, especially when it comes to law and order code or ordinances, we wanted to deviate from our agenda to deal with them, and I think we have 17 members online. And
Any other church committees that have,
You have anything that needs to 16 votes as far as legislation? Truancy code? Do you want to call them up here? Should we call them up here?
Yeah.
Anybody have their number, or do you want me to call them?
I got Sherry.
Okay.
But I think we have some pending
Okay.
from a year ago or even maybe more, some of the changes in law and order code. I know, I think we have something to do with the hemp code, to initiate, the changes. So I'm not too sure, you know, where
Okay.
that's at, but.
I think, can we have the secretary develop a list of all the legislation that needs to be passed by 16? Or can you do that for us? Because I'm kind of lost as far as what we had and we didn't get to do because we lost our quorum or we didn't have enough members here. So I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what it is, so we'll have to have her develop another list for us so when we do deviate, we know exactly what to go to. We have Personnel Committee. It looks like there's one resolution. Who's on the Personnel Committee? Ray? Okay.
Alright, this one has to do with the, reassignments of employees and being detailed into other offices. Just amending a section in the handbook to allow that.
We have a motion to approve 2022.
22, 29. A second by Chenille. Okay. Go ahead, Ray.
Okay, start at the fourth whereas. The Rosebud Sioux Tribe has enacted ordinance 2007-09 entitled Rosebud Sioux Tribe Personnel Policies and Procedures Manual and enacted RST Personnel Manual to establish and maintain a uniform system of personnel administration that meets social, economic, and program needs of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe. Whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Personnel Policy and Procedures Manual 2007-09 does not provide for interdepartmental reassignment of the employee under circumstances that may include severe weather, natural disaster, or related hazards, or for any other legitimate organizational reason, deferment, structuring, restructuring, or reorganization of a new or established department. And whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Personnel Committee recommends that the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Council adopt and approve an amendment to the RST Personnel Policies and Procedures Manual, ordinance number 2007-09, to permit the president of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe to reassign an employee, deferment, structuring, restructuring, or reorganization of a department or departments to address, modify, or allocate human resources to permit the most efficient and cost-effective use of resources for the provision and delivery of services, benefits, and resources to the people of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe by amending Article, what was that? 5? Disciplinary and termination policy, Section B, by adding sections 6? 7. Employee reassignments attached as Exhibit Number 1 attached. And therefore be it resolved that the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council adopts the amendments to the RST Personnel Policies and Procedures Ordinance recommended by the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Personnel Committee, and be it also resolved that the effective date of the amendments to the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Personnel Policies and Procedure Ordinance shall be upon the final approval of the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council. In the back, it shows the proposed.
Pam, you got a question? Comment?
In the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whereas that's Article 7 and then Section 9. But he read it in for record as Article 5 and Section 7. TC?
Didn't do Roman numerals.
Yeah. At least SF learned those. Nah, just kidding. Yeah.
Is there any discussion? Any more comments? Call for the question. Pam, all in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Online, Stan?
11.
Lisa?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Steve?
15.
Opposed?
0.
Not voting?
1.
Motion carried.
That's why Ray Snot said Las Vegas #1 last night, even though it was Super Bowl.
Keith, what was the count? What was the final count?
15-0.
1501.
Kidding right in.
Personnel Committee. Any more for Personnel Committee? Okay.
Okay.
Social Service Committee. Social Service. SWA. Report.
I'm chairman, or I'm not chairman, but. We were supposed to have had a resolution brought down from them regarding PIT, that new monies that we needed to get that passed in order for those, remember that application stuff that you guys are working on?
Okay,
In order for them to be able to use that money for
for that half program or HIP
Yeah.
program?
for the.
I think there was one presented last week, wasn't it, during budget and finance? No?
They were on the agenda.
Okay.
Remember, there was no budget finance yet,
Okay.
council. She was on the agenda.
I don't know, do you guys know if they got anything down?
She was on the agenda, but remember, council met on Friday. And she was bringing a resolution, but she didn't bring it.
Find out if they're gonna bring that resolution or not?
Is it for HIP or HAP? Remember, there's two different ones?
Yeah, ask one to go bring both of them. Alright. I don't think they brought either one of them. Kevin, can I deviate and go back to transportation?
Sure. Let's just move on and we'll back up, okay? Got two emergency legislation resolutions for transportation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here you go, Sarge. Okay, he just wants to sit back down. You're getting bad as Ed. Ed had an excuse, because older. And et cetera, after sitting down all the time.
Yeah. Way back here.
What is the number on that?
Motion for emergency legislation?
Okay, number is 52. Motion by Pam, second by Tennille, question by Ray. Emergency legislation. All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Online, Stan? Lisa?
Yes.
Eileen? Bill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
16,
Opposed?
0,
Not voting.
0.
Motion to approve?
You should have one not voting.
1 not.
Should be 15-01.
Which one didn't vote, Stan?
No.
Oh, Jordan. Okay.
Motion to approve resolution 2256.
Need a second? Ray?
I will start with,
Start with the therefore be it resolved.
I think it's that gold box you're wearing. I'll start with the fifth whereas Rosebud City Transportation Committee has the power to review, develop, and recommend legislation for consideration and approval by the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council RST Ordinance 8702, Section 7. Whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Transportation Committee shall review and make all recommendations to the Tribal Council regarding all proposed legislation, messages, petitions, memorials, highway plans, federal 638 projects, and programs pursuant to RST Ordinance 8702, Section 8. Whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe MAP 21 program was awarded the Federal Transportation Investment Generating Economic Recovery funds under the provisions of the Consolidated Appropriations Act 2016 to procure the reconstruction of BIA 7 to US Highway 83 Improvement Project Phase 1, Rosebud to 8.4 miles east on the Rosebud Indian Reservation in Todd County, South Dakota, whereas Rosebud Sioux Tribe Transportation Program proposes to enter into the Tribal Transportation Agreement with Cherry Todd Electric Cooperative, owner of the utility, to adjust, repair, and relocate existing power lines affected by the project to the extent that the construction is outside the original right-of-way of the section line right-of-way shall be paid by the RST MAP 21 program from both Tiger and TTP funds. Whereas the utility will acquire any needed additional easements required outside the already acquired utility easements, including in the right-of-way on trust land in accordance with the 25 CFR Part 169 right-of-way on Indian land. RST MAP 21 will not release the 5% retainage until the filed easements have been submitted to the RST MAP 21 program and confirmed accurate by the RST MAP 21 program. Whereas RST MAP 21 program shall reimburse the utility a total not to exceed amount of $305,082.57 with the following stipulations. A, RST MAP 21 program shall reimburse the utility an initial payment of in-kind work amount of $152,231.01 for agreed upon in-kind relocation approximately 1 month after this agreement is signed by both parties. B, utility shall provide progress reports and billings for costs incurred in compliance with the Federal Highway Administration Program Guide for Utility Relocation and Accommodation on Federal Aid Highway Projects. C, RST MAP 21 shall provide progress payments within 45 days of the progress billing by the utility and verification by RST MAP 21 program of costs incurred and compliance with the guide. The total cost shall not exceed maximum not to exceed construction cost of $152,850. Whereas the parties agree to submit all legal disputes that may arise under this agreement to mediation as a first attempt at resolution. If the mediation is unsuccessful, the parties agree to submit any such dispute to binding arbitration. Either party seeking to pursue a legal claim under this contract shall notify the other party in writing of 1, the nature of the claim, 2, the amount and damages sought, 3, a request to engage in binding arbitration, and 4, a proposed arbitrator. The arbitrator or arbitrators shall establish the rules of arbitration. The parties shall accept the result of arbitration as final. The rules of the American arbitration concerning the enforcement of the arbitrator's decisions shall not apply, and the terms of this agreement concerning enforcement shall apply. Whereas a legal claim shall extend only to damages that relate directly to the obligations of the owner pursuant to the agreement. No action or claim shall be brought against owner which extends beyond or exceeds the obligations against owner which extends beyond or exceeds the obligations of the owner pursuant to this agreement. A judgment or award against MAP 21 program made in accordance with this dispute resolution provisions of the agreement may be satisfied only from the owner's available tribal transportation funds. Whereas the parties consent to the jurisdiction of the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Courts for the purposes of disputes arising under this agreement. Whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Law and Order Code Title 4, Chapter 2, Section 4-2-1, Sovereign Immunity, provides that except as required by federal law or the Constitution and bylaws of the tribe, are specifically waived by a resolution or ordinance of the Tribal Council making specific reference to such, the Rosebud Sioux Tribe and its officers and employees shall be immune from suit in any civil action for any liability arising from the performance of their official duties. Whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Transportation Committee has recommended that the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council approve and authorize the Rosebud Sioux Tribe MAP 21 Program Utility Agreement with Cherry Todd Electric. Whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council finds it is in the best interest of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe to accept the terms and conditions of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe MAP 21 Program's Utilities Agreement with Cherry Todd Electric. Therefore, be it resolved that the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council approves and adopts the recommendation of the RST Transportation Committee to adopt and approve the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Map 21 Program Utilities Agreement with Cherry Tower Electric. Seems like I read that twice. Be it further resolved that the president of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe or his authorized delegate are authorized and directed to sign any and all documents related to the agreement.
Okay, any questions?
Any discussion? Call for the question. Fremont, all in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Online, Stan? Lisa?
Yes.
Stan, too. Eileen? Bill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Steve?
Yeah. 16.
Opposed?
0.
Not voting?
0.
Motion carried. That's the only one from transport.
What? Education's here.
Okay, one more and then we'll go back to education, okay?
Motion for emergency legislation.
Motion for emergency legislation, Tom. By Ray, question by
Jordan. I don't think she was waving, but. All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Online, Stan? Lisa?
Yes.
Eileen?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
15.
Steve?
Yeah. 16.
Opposed?
0.
Not voting?
1.
Motion to approve resolution 2253.
Motion.
second by Ray. Go ahead.
I'll start with the fifth whereas. Whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe submitted to the Federal Aviation Administration an airport rescue grant application dated November 30th, 2021 for a grant of federal funds at or associated with the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Airport, which is included as part of the Airport Rescue Grant Agreement. Whereas the Airport Rescue Grant is provided in accordance with the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 to provide eligible sponsors with funding for costs related to operations, personnel, cleaning, sanitization, janitorial services, combating the spread of pathogens at the airport. The debt service payments airport rescue grant amounts to specific airports to prevent and prepare for the coronavirus impact. The Tribe Transport Committee recommends authorize and direct Rosebud Sioux Tribe or its authorized delegate the authority to execute the grant, followed by the attorney certification no later than February 23rd, 2022, in order for the grant in the amount of $22,000 to be valid and signed SF 425 Federal Financial Report. Whereas as a condition of receiving federal assistance under this award, the tribe agrees to comply with audit requirements established under 2 CFR Part 200 Subpart F and any other applicable audit requirements and standards. Therefore, be it resolved that the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council adopts and accepts the recommendation of the RST Transportation Committee to authorize and direct the president of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe or his authorized delegate the authority to execute the grant, followed by the attorney certification no later than February 25th, 2022, in order for the grant in amount of $22,000 to be valid and a signed SF 425 federal financial report. Be it finally resolved that the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Conference directs the Sioux Tribe or his authorized delegate and the tribe attorney to sign and execute the airport rescue grant agreement and attorney certification.
Discussion.
Need a question? Fremont, all in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Online? Stan? Lisa?
Yes.
Eileen?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Steve?
Yeah. 16,
Opposed?
0,
Not voting?
1.
Motion carried.
Mr. Chair, I think we need to go back to that resolution 2252 and get the correct numbers.
Are we behind?
Yeah, I think we're missing one vote.
One vote? What do you mean?
I mean, it's 1600, but there's
Oh.
17 of us.
Okay, 2252. Do you remember what the count was?
16, you said 1600.
1600?
But there's 17 of us.
Okay.
One goes offline and then it comes back on, so that's the reason why.
So it should be 1601? One not voting? 1601? We'll change it. 1601.
Motion for emergency legislation?
Motion by Pam for emergency legislation. The number is 54. Second by Ray. Question by Fremont. All in favor? You know, it's emergency legislation.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Online, Stan?
Lisa.
Yes.
Eileen.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Donna.
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Oh, yep.
15, 0.
Opposed, 0.
15, 0. Opposed, 1. Oh, 0.
Carried.
1500.
Yeah, 0, 2. It's 1. 2.
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve resolution 2254.
Second by Ray.
By Ray. Go ahead.
I'll start with the 8, whereas the RST Transportation Committee has reviewed the fiscal year 2022 reference funding agreement pursuant to the Tribal Transportation Program Agreement with the Department of Transportation, a funding agreement entered into by the Administrator, Federal Highway Administration, and the Rosebud Sioux Tribe for the comprehensive transportation planning, research, design, engineering, construction, maintenance of highway, road, bridge, parkway, or transit facility programs or projects that are located on or which provide access to Rosebud Sioux Tribe of the Rosebud Indian Reservation, along with the related program administration activities and associated transportation activities. Whereas the funding agreement is authorized by the Tribal Transportation Program 23 USC subsection 201 and 202 as amended by the Surface Transportation Reauthorization Act of 2021, Division A of Public Law 117-58. Also, how do you say that? William? Known as the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, or Bill 25 CFR Part 170 and 23 CFR Part 661, in accordance with the Indian Self-Determination Education Assistance Act, Public Law 93-638, as amended 25 USC subsection 5301, including for purposes of Federal Tort Claims Coverage Act and by resolution of the governing body. Whereas the total amount of funding provided under this reference funding agreement is $1,319,041.30. Therefore, be it resolved that the Rosebud Sioux Tribal finds it is in the best interest of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe to approve and adopt the recommendation of the RST Transportation Committee and to approve and to agree to the terms and provisions of the Department of Transportation Federal Transit Reference Funding Agreement. Be it also resolved that the President of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe or his authorized designee are authorized and directed to execute the agreement on behalf of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe.
It's our 2022 funds that are available that they need to spend, right? Any questions, comments? Now we need a question. Neil, all in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10? Online? 10? Eileen?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
15,
Oh,
0, 42.
good.
One more, Chairman. I'm reading through it real fast to make sure it's not something that was already. This is the same. This one was already. Oh. This one here is, this one's passed. This one.
Yeah, that was.
Okay, this one passed. That one passed. See, this has the same language as this. Okay, Chairman, this one here was already passed. It was, they copied it. Secretary's office already made copies.
All right, we'll go back to education. They're all waiting out there, so better get to it. I have 16, I think, online. I think Stan went off. I think he might have touched the wrong button on his phone. Whoa. 15. Yeah, no. 16. Good afternoon again. Are you guys ready to present today? Or are you just ready to say let's pass it? We called you down here because we have 16 present today, so I think you guys did your presentation last week, right? So you got the codes, everyone got the code that they passed out last week? Oh, the kitchen folders are? Okay.
Hoping that there's any questions.
Okay. All right, well, you're gonna pass it out and then
Is there an approving resolution here someplace? Or part of this? Is in the packet?
It's in 5. Right there.
Five? Okay, it's on tab 5, I guess. Okay.
I thought they left a copy of the resolution.
Have that in the packet, yeah. All right, we need somebody from the Education Committee to present this. You wanna make a motion to approve 2022-27?
Yep, I move motion to approve 22, 27.
Need a second by Jordan. Go ahead and read through the resolution.
Alrighty.
It's on tab 5.
Right here. This is gonna be 01.
Maybe what,
22-01. Ordinance.
which one? Ordinance?
Yeah.
So it's approving the ordinance, so on the next page, it's gonna be 2022-01. 2022-01, on the second page of the resolution.
I recommend other papers I need to send.
Okay. Rapid City, huh? Oh,
I know, I've got your girlfriend today.
I know. If I don't, I'll look for you.
The fifth says, the Rosebud Sioux Tribe is authorized pursuant to the Constitution
And bylaws of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe, Article 4, powers of the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council, Section 1, subsection K, to promulgate and enforce ordinances providing for the maintenance of law and order and the administration of justice by establishing a reservation court and defining its duties and powers. And whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council has enacted ordinance number 8002, creating the Rosebud Sioux Tribe's Governmental Affairs Committee to operate with participation from tribal members and communities to develop and coordinate all aspects of governmental relations of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe. And whereas RST Ordinance Number 8002, Section 7 authorizes the RST Governmental Affairs Committee to review and recommend legislation to the RST Tribal Council accompanied by a narrative from whoever is submitting the legislation. And whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Governmental Affairs Committee recommends the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council to amend the RST Tribal Law and Order Code by adding Chapter 64, Compulsory School Attendance, and Chapter 5, Truancy, Informal and Formal Truancy Proceedings, to Title 3, and to rescind and revoke. So, wait, should that be Chapter 7 before that, or is it still 5?
No, chapter 5 and chapter 5. It's to rescind and revoke Title 5, Chapter 8, Section
Okay.
3.
And to rescind and revoke Title 5, Chapter 8, Section 3, failure to send children to school, attached is Exhibit Number 1. And therefore be it resolved that the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council adopts and approves the recommendation of the RST Governmental Affairs Committee and amends the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Law and Order Code by adding Chapter 4, Compulsory School Attendance, and Chapter 7, Truancy, Informal and Formal Truancy Proceedings, to Title 3, and to rescind and revoke Title 5, Chapter 8, Section 3, failure to send children to school, attached as Exhibit Number 1, enacted as RST Ordinance Number 2022-01. And be it also resolved that the effective date of the amendments to the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Law and Order Code, Title 3, Chapter 5, and Chapter 4 and Chapter 5 and Title 5, Chapter 8, Section 3, Rosebud Sioux Tribe Law and Order Code shall be final upon approval by the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council.
Okay, this is the first reading, right? Okay, so,
If this is approved, it'll be your first reading, and then we wait another month,
At least 10 days.
at least 10 days, and then we bring it back again for the second reading, and then it's approved. I think it has to go out for publish, right?
Yep.
Okay,
10 days after.
okay, all right. Any questions? To Neil?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just have a question about how this works with like the pandemic and everything, you know, with people needing to quarantine and things like that. Are you still gonna hold the parents liable?
It just depends on the situation. Case by case situation.
So what if, more than one instance of getting COVID and so they missed that considerably?
It just depends on the schools, you know, what school they attend. If it's one-on-one, you know, if there's normal school, you know, school's already mitigated, you know, so, but if they're not able to attend school, then we would like work with the school district to see if they make sure that they have packets, you know, whatever the situation might be. We would, you know, intervene.
Okay.
You know, by all means, I don't see something like that being petitioned.
Discussion, we have to have 16, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We need Pam back in the room. We have 16 in the room?
Yeah, there's 26 online.
Okay. Who'd I miss? Who'd I miss? Maybe Ray. Ray was ducking down. Okay. All right, well, let's call for the question then. See if we can get them all.
question it.
Okay. They're us questioning it, so. All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9.
Online, Lisa?
Yes.
Eileen?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
And?
Oh.
Steve?
Yes.
15?
Oh, yes. 16,
Opposed?
0,
Not voting?
1.
Motion carried. Do another.
Chairman, I have a question for the secretary. Doesn't the whole code have to be literally read into the record? Or did we waive the reading?
It was presented last week.
Wasn't it?
It's just approving the ordinance.
Just approving the ordinance
Yeah.
amendment.
Amendment.
We need to read the whole code.
I wouldn't think
No.
so, because it's the resolution that's amending that ordinance.
Okay.
So the resolution is the one that's passed.
Lisa, she didn't think that we had to? Just the resolution amending the ordinance or the law and order code, the section.
Did you read in the amendments?
It was on a resolution, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The resolution, yeah, the amendments was in the resolution. Okay, any more questions? No, okay, all right, well, thank you.
Thank you, council. Thank you very much.
Scott, they're bringing down the HIP resolution.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Next, we have, SWA is bringing down that resolution. We'll go on to Techro. Yeah, Techro, you got something for Techro? Okay.
Last Wednesday, we had a Techro meeting. I didn't know we had council, so I went to the Techro meeting. Anyway, and I had an appointment afterwards, but it went pretty good. There's some new changes to the compliance. We have a lot of development here on the res. Techro's doing the best job they can. They're getting everything done as far as like contractors. They got all their ducks in a row. I know they have a training coming up in Tulsa. I'm starting to get to know the program itself. I know that Techro is quite unique because it's the only one that has contracting in it in the United States, so everywhere else is Techro. Every other reservation has a very, very, very state-of-the-art building that they hold their Techro offices in, because they have a big role and responsibility to train the membership. So I know all the money that generates into Techro goes into the general account. They don't get to keep anything. Why can't they keep something so they can build on it, maybe get themselves a nicer building? I know that they want to bring in welding classes. They want to bring in trade classes for our people. And young and old can utilize it. So maybe as a council, we can look at Techro a little closer and help them to help us as a people, because that seems to be the council's filter. The general account is fueled by a lot of the revenue generated from Techro. So you'd think that we could build up Techro a little bit, get ourselves something that would be suffice to train 12 individuals to be welders. Welding is a very lucrative job in the country right now. It's not going to end. There's going to be building everywhere, kind of like nursing. We could be building and educating our own people, but yet we stay stagnant on projects that only fit certain people's agendas. Techro is here, and it's always going to be here. Our tribe, our people, we need something to stand on and to go from. So I think maybe it'd be cool if, as a council collectively, we could look at Techro and let them keep a couple of their dollars so that they can build up our people. Because at this rate, Councilwoman Killenwater said earlier, we're getting called the councils. We are. It's because of bad decision making. So, I'm thinking, you look at all these different entities, programs, how could you help it? And Techro seems to be the one that's bringing in contractors, it's bringing in gosh bobs from all over, but yet they don't get to keep any of it and build from. We aren't even, trying to educate our own people. Yeah, it's good that we're sending people away to school, we got SGU, but we also have to think of our Lakota who aren't, grasping that educational embarkment to get a 4-year degree. Welding only takes about 8 months, and it's good. There's so many different programs that we can vitalize off of it. Maybe we could give them a chance. I don't know. I started learning more about it, and I just think that as a council, we should back them up more. If we want good for our people, if we want 50 years from now to have, the 21-year-olds now become productive elders, well, then we need to give them something to be that. So it'd be cool if we could look at Techro a little more and push them a little, because they're doing their job, but yet they're not getting anything to build up from. And Callie and Darwin are doing an excellent job of compliance.
and getting out there. They've made changes because there's a lot of different contractors with EPP that sprung up. You know, just everybody and their dog has a construction outfit or, you know, something to start up on. So they're doing a good job by policing it. And I just think that if we're ever going to make moves for our people for the future, then we should probably think for the future instead of yesterday. Thank you.
Thank you, Darrell. Tribal Utilities Commission. We haven't had a report from them. I think we probably, I don't know, they're on here all the time, so I don't think they've ever came over and did a report. Veterans Affairs. Yeah, Fremont.
If you ask Orlando when they're doing that memorial in Rapid City, I noticed they left out the names of Harold's grandpa, my uncle, and there was another one that was killed in action. He was from Wood, South Dakota. His name is Dennis Gilbert. Those three, I didn't see the names on that memorial, and we're supposed to send it or let somebody know about those, I guess. My uncle would be Orson Dale Fallis, and Daryl's grandpa's Philip Hyatt, and the other one is another enrolled member from Rosebud. His name is Dennis Gilbert. He was killed in action, but body was never recovered.
What about that Goodship?
Huh?
Remember Peter Goodship? Yeah.
World War II,
Yeah.
Okay, veterans. Do we have enough Veterans Committee members for that? Or do we have to add any? Or do you know anything about the Veterans Committee? I do get a lot of calls in my office, concerns about maybe something that has to do with veterans in the office. I don't know how to answer those questions sometimes, so I'd like to refer them back to somebody else, but I don't know if the Veterans Committee is very active or not. So I think we got to make sure that's an important committee. I think we need to have those people those committee members start being active on that committee. I get chewed out pretty good sometimes over Veterans Affairs stuff. So, Pam?
First off, you know what? I thought I resigned from that committee a while back. I can't remember if it passed or not. But at that time, I had left a discussion on the floor, and it was regarding the young children that were brought back. At the time, the committee members that were on there, the veterans that were representing the communities, they had some concern with it. And I don't know, it happened anyway, so I don't want to rehash that, but that was kind of one of their concerns, and I don't know where to go with that, but I think I resigned. That came into question. And Bill, can you help me? They haven't had any meetings since, right? Because we allowed for, the council still allowed for them children to be buried up there, so I think they all just quit, right?
Yeah, because we haven't got much notifications or calls about a meeting, and I used to stop quickly, and there wasn't much action going on out of that office, it seemed like. But yeah, ever since that burial of the Carlisle remains, it's just been kind of at a standstill.
Having a meeting minutes that you did resign and that Cher took your place. She's okay. Brought it, so. All right.
Thank you.
Council working for housing and bring their resolution down, their HIP resolution. I did want to talk a little bit about the loss of revenue for those programs that's been pending. Some of them are really waiting for their loss of revenue so they can start spending it. We presented it here a couple times. It was kicked back to committee and it brought back again. I think the last time the treasurer was supposed to have presented it again, but I don't think he got to it.
That was one of the things that we were going to visit during the 23rd, or the meeting on the 16th.
Okay, so
That's where we're going to visit on it, and we all agreed at that time we'd visit on the 16th regarding it, and then the 23rd meeting is when.
okay, just for your information, there are probably five entities out there that are still waiting for their budgets to be approved. They submitted them, but they've never been approved. So, TLE is one of them. Fire Healthcare Center, Tribal Ranch, Sioux Tribal Courts, and SWA Corporation is waiting for their loss of revenue budgets to be approved. And there was that issue with the ambulance service as far as their loss of revenue. I guess it's okay to issue them that money or appropriate that money to that program if you guys decide to do that. So,
I had some questions concerning the loss of revenue for the nursing home.
yeah.
They had a set amount that was too low for the employees that worked there. They were there 24/7. I know a young boy that is driving and he contracted COVID 3 times picking up employees and driving them, and he didn't make that cut. So I have a big question with the nursing home and whether or not they did theirs right. So
I think they did their loss of revenue right. I don't think they got it. They got it to pay out the. I don't think they were calling it premium pay. I think they were calling it more of a incentive bonus for those workers. I think what is it, Brandy?
they're just like
Last I heard that they really got a small amount.
yeah, because I know the employees were getting together and they're very upset because they're not happy with their admin.
But they haven't got their money yet from the loss of revenue, so we still haven't approved that. Well, maybe she'll give it to them after we approve it. So Pam, you want to bring this back, or do you want to deal with it?
These entities that didn't get their loss of revenue budgets approved, I can name them off in the amounts. They've been brought here a few times now. I know some of them started using their monies already. We're going to replace it when they got their loss of revenue. So I know TLE had done some of their premium pay already. They're just waiting to get reimbursed out of their loss of revenue. Tribal Land Enterprises bought some equipment. Not Tribal Land Enterprises, but the Tribal Ranch bought some equipment, and they were counting on their loss of revenue to pay for that.
So we passed a motion, Chairman.
Yeah.
We passed a motion. What is that? Do you have that motion with you?
Are you talking about the resolution?
There was a motion that was passed that about these programs. I got that motion Friday, and I gave it to Steve because Nicole just signed it. There was a motion.
All I know is that when the treasurer was supposed to, when he gave his report, he was supposed to go through that packet with you guys one by one and tell you what their budgets are, and we can approve them one by one, but that wasn't done. I don't know why he didn't do it, but it wasn't done that day that he did it, so I think he pulled out one of them from the loss of revenue, and he had, I think that it should have been probably approved with Rosebud Casinos and Red Coast, at the same time. I think they all should have been approved, but
Well, on the 9th, we made a motion to have a detailed, Lisa made a motion to have a detailed report on chartered entity budget to be given to the treasurer. Now, and then that's when we went into that discussion of the, talking about the rest of them, go back to ARPA and see exactly what their monies was going towards.
Lisa, do you remember anything on these entities?
I did make a motion to have the the chartered entities turn in a detailed expense report to the treasurer. Also, the treasurer, we talked about maybe capturing some of the lost revenue on the dividends that weren't paid to us. If that should be something separate, or we include it with those payments, I don't know. But it was supposed to go back to ARPA. We have ARPA meeting on Wednesday.
They submitted, again, they submitted the RST ambulance service loss of revenue budget. Got the TLE loss of revenue budget. I got RST courts here. And we have SWAs and tribal ranch. So they're all here. I guess I don't understand why we're not approving them. I don't know what the deal is. I guess I don't know what you guys want to do with that, or if you're actually trying not to approve them, put them back in the general account
There was an
money.
issue with the calculations, and something didn't match up with what Troy Blake had done on something with the formula and the calculations.
Okay, well, I just need to tell them it because they keep calling on it. So I just need to yes or no, or do we take it back again and
take it back to ARPA on Wednesday. We were supposed to meet that last month or at the end of last month, but I had COVID then, so we didn't get an ARPA meeting together.
Okay, we'll do that. Take it back. Otherwise, I think we need a break. Russell?
Are we done?
We're done. We're waiting for SWA to bring down the resolution and we're done.
Also, I don't think those programs should be spending loss of revenue funds if they haven't received anything yet. Because we have to issue some guidelines for that premium pay that they need to follow also.
They're getting a lot of pressure on their sides for premium pay too, so from their employees. Okay, well, are we waiting for SWA or do we need a break? Should we take 10 and if they're not here, then we'll just adjourn? Okay? All right, take a 10-minute break.
We have
A, it's on their HIP funds, their 2022 ARPA HIP funds. Or is it 21?
2020.
Yeah,
55?
55. Pam, are you,
Motion for emergency legislation?
number's 55?
For a second. Yeah,
Neil?
yeah, 55.
That's what Tim said. 55? 55. Second by Tennille, question by Fremont. All in favor, emergency legislation?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Online, Lisa?
Yes.
Bill? Donna?
Donna? Yes. Steve? Opposed? 12, 0. Not voting?
3.
What's the vote?
1203.
Motion to approve resolution 2255.
Second by Jordan. Go ahead.
Start with fourth whereas the Sioux Oil Company Corporation per Rosebud Sioux resolution number 9891 passed April 13, 1998, did incorporate the existing home improvement program hereafter called HIP into their management and to make changes to the existing HIP contracts to the Bureau of Indian Affairs according to federal regulations 25 CFR Part 256. Whereas the American Rescue Plan Act of fiscal year 2021 funding for the home improvement program on a one-time non-recurring basis, funding notice dated May 5th, 2021 from the BIA Great Plains Regional Office, the Midwest regions consisting of 16 tribes. The Rosebud Sioux tribe was included in awarded distribution of $932,287 to provide services to HIP applicants, recipients. Some of the regular HIP requirements have been waived until funds have been expended. The following assistance will be provided by the funding. Cat B, repairs of 48 private home households assisted $480,000. Cat C, replacement homes for 4 individuals would be assisted with a new build $356,350. Cat D, down payment assistance, 8 individuals will be assisted financially $40,000 and includes administrative support costs $55,937, identified for a total distribution award amount of $932,287. Now therefore be it resolved that the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Council hereby agrees and supports the ARPA Home Improvement Grant for the fiscal year 2021. Tier 2, this distribution will be it further resolved that the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Council approves the $932,287 award distribution of American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 funding of the Home Improvement Program, a one-time non-recurring basis and release of funds as presented in order to fulfill this portion of Public Law 638 Home Improvement Program contract.
Any questions, comments? Question.
Great. All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Online, Lisa?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Stan? Steve?
Yeah. 14.
Eileen?
Can you repeat that, please?
We're approving the American Rescue Plan ARPA funds for housing, and they're gonna build some new houses from it. It's $932,000. We're approving it.
Oh, yes, for me, yes.
15,
Opposed?
0,
Not voting?
1.
Motion carried. Okay, do we have enough to do the hemp code or
We need one more person.
the code?
I think he's gonna, I just told him to get on. Okay.
Who is?
Wayne.
Wayne? 1, 2, 3. Do you have the resolution? This is the second reading, right?
Everything's right there in that stack right there.
Someone want to do this motion or no?
Oh, yeah, you can do that. Because you asked, that's why. Yeah,
All right, now motion. Motion to temporarily extend the terms for the members of the current RST election board whose terms have or will expire until such time as successors are nominated and seated. For the reasons and due to the public emergency caused by the continuing COVID-19 pandemic and the difficulty in obtaining candidates for nomination to serve on the RST election board.
Okay, need a second. Fremont. Question by Janelle. All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Online, Lisa?
Yes.
Eileen?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Dan? Wayne?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Opposed?
0.
Motion. Not voting.
0.
Getting ahead of myself. Motion carried.
2, huh?
02? So, do you think, I think, Russell left, so.
He was in the secretary's office.
What is it? He grabbed his stuff and I think put it away, so.
1502?
Yes. Okay, we got, code. Yeah, it's legalizing marijuana, right? Is that what we want to do? Yeah. Okay. Online, is that, oh, this is the chair. Chair, is that you?
Yep, I'm on. Hi, everybody. Hi, council.
Council's over. Later. Guys are too late, Chair. They read these directed again. Kidding. The code, so. Are we criminalizing it?
Kevin, do we have to read all these?
Yeah, it's a highlighted one. That's here, the resolution. Sorry. You have the resolution that you, okay. Oh, yeah, actually. Perfect. Yes, another one again.
2021 304.
2021 304. Number of the resolution, so. Yeah. Motion to approve for the second reading, 2022 304.
2021.
2021 304. Move for the second reading. Second, Dwight. Go ahead.
start on the fourth whereas. Whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council has carefully considered the effects that methamphetamine and opioid addiction has on our families, friends, and neighbors. And whereas Rosebud Sioux Tribe has determined that there are some legitimate benefits to the legalization of marijuana, such as treatment for anxiety, arthritis, and other ailments, as well as a less dangerous substitute for opioids. Whereas the legalization of marijuana would allow for limited law enforcement and judicial resources to be focused on preventing the manufacturing and distribution of methamphetamine and opioids, as well as other crimes that are incident to meth trade. Whereas the legalization of marijuana will necessitate further rules and regulations as to sale and distribution of marijuana. Whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Attorney General has recommended the Rosebud Sioux Tribe to adopt and approve the proposed amendments to the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Law and Order Code, Title 5, Chapter 29, Section 1, Possession of Marijuana, and Title 5, Chapter 29, Section 2, Manufacture, Distribution, or Possession with Intent to Distribute. RST Ordinance Number 2021-01, Attachment Number 1 and Attachment Number 2, respectively. And whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Attorney General has also recommended the Rosebud Sioux Tribe to adopt and approve the proposed amendments to the Rosebud Sioux Tribe Law and Order Code, Title 5, Chapter 29, Section 6, Exemption for medicinal marijuana, with subsection 1, qualifying medical condition, defined with subsection 2, and deleter's outcome with subsection 3. So, in the chapter 28, you'll see the addition number 7, marijuana, and has the definition. So it means and includes all parts of the plant: cannabis sativa, cannabis americana, cannabis indica, whether growing of not the seeds thereof, the resin extracted from any part of such plant, and every compound, manufacture, salt, derivative mixture, or preparation of such plants, its seeds or resin, but shall not include the mature stalks of such plants, fiber produced from such stalks, oil, or cake made from seeds or seeds of such plant, any other compound, manufacture, salt, derivative mixture, or preparation of such mature stalks, except the resin extracted therefrom, fiber, oil, cake, or sterilized seed of such plant which is incapable of germination. And section 5-28-2 is the addition marijuana Schedule 1 exception. Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council does hereby determine that possessing less than 3 ounces of marijuana shall not by itself be considered a controlled substance under Title 5, Chapter 28. And that's, you'll see here in this one, the Chapter 28. So, possession of marijuana, no person shall knowingly possess more than 3 ounces of marijuana. Any person who knowingly possesses more than 3 ounces of marijuana is guilty of a Class A crime. 5-29-2. Any person who knowingly, without a tribal license to do so, 1, grows marijuana, 2, manufactures marijuana, that is to say packages, repackages, dries, or prepares marijuana for distribution, 3, distributes marijuana, 4, possesses marijuana with intent to distribute the same, is guilty of a Class A crime. And 5-29-3, distribution of marijuana to a minor. Any person who distributes marijuana with or without consideration to
Any other person under the age of 18 years is guilty of distribution of marijuana to a minor. It is no defense to a prosecution under this section that the defendant was not aware of the true age of the other person to whom the marijuana was distributed. Distribution of marijuana to a minor is a Class A crime. And here in Chapter 29, we have 5-29-1, possession of marijuana. No person shall knowingly possess marijuana unless exempted by 5-29-6 below. Any person who knowingly possesses marijuana is guilty of a Class B crime if the amount of marijuana possessed is 1 ounce or less. Possession of more than 1 ounce of marijuana is a Class A crime. 5-29-2, manufacture, distribution, or possession with intent to distribute. Any person who knowingly, without a valid license or other authorization from the Rosebud Sioux tribe to do so, 1, grows marijuana, 2, manufactures marijuana, that is to say, packages, repackages, dries, or prepares marijuana for distribution, or 3, distributes marijuana, or 4, possesses marijuana with the intent to distribute the same, is guilty of a Class A crime. And there is 5-29-6, exemption for medicinal marijuana. Any person over the age of 21 who has a qualifying medical condition and a valid unexpired medical registration card issued by the Rosebud Sioux tribe or another federally recognized tribe or a tribal entity of said tribe are issued by a state that allows for medicinal marijuana to be prescribed by medical practitioner and may possess no more than 3 ounces of marijuana. Those qualifying under RST LOC 5-29-6 will be exempt from RST LOC 5-28-1, 5-28-3, and 5-28-15. This is subject to the following terms and conditions. 5-29-6.1, medical practitioner defined. A medical practitioner is a physician who is licensed with authority to prescribe drugs to human and or person who is licensed as a nurse practitioner or a physician assistant with authority to prescribe drugs to humans in the state of the practitioner's residence. 5-29-6.2, qualifying medical condition defined. A qualifying medical condition is a condition which includes anxiety, chronic or debilitating disease or illness, or its treatment that includes, how do you say that? Cachexia? I don't know. Wasting syndrome, severe debilitating pain, severe nausea, seizures, or severe and persistent muscle spasms, including those consistent with multiple sclerosis or other neuromuscular disorders. It may also include any condition that, in the opinion of the medical practitioner, a patient would benefit from the use of marijuana. 5-29-6.3, deleterious outcomes. The Rosebud Sioux tribe, including its officers, employees, agents, representatives, successors, and signs, shall not be held responsible for any deleterious outcomes from the use of marijuana by any person. And I do believe those are the amendments to the Law and Order Code. Questions?
Second reading, if we have any amendments, it has to go back to the first, so say no. Yeah. Okay, call for the question. Need 16. Jordan.
Jordan question.
All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Online, Lisa.
Yes.
Eileen. Bill,
Yes.
Donna,
Yes.
Stan, Wayne,
Yes.
Cher,
Yeah.
Steve,
18,
opposed,
0,
not voting,
0.
motion carried.
Thank you, council.
So what's the next step, Tennille? Do you know how, does it go out for, it has to be published and that kind of stuff, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be in the newspaper.
Okay,
It has to be published.
And it'll be law 10 days after being published.
okay, 10 days after being published, it's law. Just so we all know. Okay, there's another, motion that was passed out. Yeah, go ahead, Chair.
Thank you. I would like to just make a recommendation that maybe your office or the HR office can make sure to get out a memo letting employees know that although that this is decriminalized, that the policy and procedure manual is still in place until it is changed.
Okay.
Thank you.
There was a motion that was just handed out by Eric, basically a motion to authorize president to authorize the Native
American Rights Fund to withdraw lawsuit filed by the tribe against KXL Trans-Canada Pipeline only when the tribe receives proof that the Trans-Canada has filed the legal documents to relinquish the easement rights of the way on the tribe's property located south of Colomb, South Dakota. Russell. Motion by Russell. Second by Pam. Question by Fremont. All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
We got it.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Online, Lisa?
Yes.
Eileen?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Donna? Stan? Wayne?
Wayne, yes.
Cher? Steve? Opposed?
0, 15, 0,
Not voting?
3.
Motion carried. Is there any other business? Now we need, go ahead, Russell. Motion to adjourn. Second by Dara, question by Pam.
I got other business. This morning, under the House Board, there was a packet that we passed out, and remember you asked if everybody read it? That was just the process on, having, that compacting walk to the communities, what are the steps that we need to do and whatnot. I can have Skyla, we called her down here to have her explain that a little bit so we can get that passed. That we can get started on that survey and stuff.
What would this be called? What is this?
Exactly that we're approving, so I know it's a process for compacting the IHS hospital, but what is the packet?
So what that is, it's a toolkit, it's a readiness to do, to move forward with the compacting, but what that toolkit readiness pack is the second. Anyway, what it is that it just goes to show that we have to go into the communities to let them know that this is what we're attempting or pursuing or we're trying to do. So that has to be implemented. We can't just go and do any of the changes without informing the community of this change. So that's why it's called that readiness toolkit for compacting.
So the motion would be to approve the readiness toolkit for to go out to the communities
Because it's
Education
a, yeah,
on compacting.
yep, it's an educational toolkit.
And we'll be doing that via Vera. They'll be coming in to meet with groups and other participants, and just to gather all this information. And so they'll put it together, and they'll come back and let the health board know what they report.
Yeah, so if you look at it, the module would be, it would just to build, to increase the community's readiness and to inform the public that this is what we're gonna do. And then they'll earmark elders, they'll earmark juveniles, they'll earmark middle age, and they'll take that percentage and they'll use it. And then on there, it'll be like, they'll address all the wide range of issues with healthcare. And that'll help them identify all the areas that we're lacking with healthcare.
I think this is gonna also be a good tool for whenever, well, going back to the lawsuit that we won, you know, there was conversations of possibly looking at having a new IHS. This is also going to help with that in creating more of them services within the IHS building facility itself instead of how like this building was put up. It was put up with no kind of the needs of our people. And like right now we have podiatry that does, what is it, it only comes once a month or something. They only come once a month, podiatry. OBGYN, they don't even have a delivery room. They don't have nobody to come in and do delivery. And now with cancer being a big spread here on the reservation, that's another thing that we can also have some kind of data on so that they can look at putting that in the facility. So this is really going to be a good thing, not only just for contracting, but it kind of gives us an idea of what our people are wanting here at our hospital facility.
So there needs to be a motion to do what?
Motion to approve this readiness toolkit for this contracting.
For the education of the community on compacting.
Yes.
Okay. Is that the motion? then?
Community outreach and education, yeah.
Right. Second by Ray. Any more discussion? Dwight, question? All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Online, Lisa?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Eileen?
Yes.
Yes.
Wayne, yes.
Claire?
Yes,
Steve?
I heard you say you want some apples. Give me a minute, okay?
Yeah.
Hold on, baby. Just wait.
Talking to Wes.
15.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good morning.
No,
1.
Okay, motion to adjourn, right, Russell? Second by Dana. Question by Ray. All in favor? Ernie?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Lisa? Adjourn.
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Eileen?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Wayne?
Wayne, yes. Thank you, Council.
Claire?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Opposed?
16, not voting, 0, 0.
Carries. Adjourn.